Chapter 4, Atoms and Elements. The title of this section may seem a little strange based on the slides. Experiencing Atoms at Tiburon. That's because the author talks about a trip that he and his wife took to Tiburon, which is on the north of San Francisco. Question?
Yeah, so whatever's covered today will be the last of what's on the test?
Yes. Whatever we finish covering today will be included on the test next Thursday. What we talk about on Tuesday will be on exam 2. So that's why the Tiburon reference in the title. All matter is composed of atoms. We talked in chapter 3 about what matter is, anything that occupies space and has mass. All matter is composed of atoms. Atoms are the building blocks of matter. They're like the Lego bricks that all of matter is made out of. Anything that you hear, you see, you feel, you experience, atoms are involved. And the properties of the atoms determine the properties of the matter. And so we need to look at what the properties of atoms are. An atom is the smallest identifiable unit of an element. You can break atoms into smaller pieces, but then they are not, like if you take a carbon atom and you smash it, it's not carbon anymore. You can't have two halves of a carbon atom and have them be carbon. It breaks into teeny tiny particles and it's not carbon anymore. And when we say element, we mean a substance that cannot be broken down into smaller or simpler substances. So counting the naturally occurring elements, there's about 91 different kinds of atoms, but they all have a lot of things in common. For one thing, atoms are incredibly small. That's an understatement. This is a nice example. If every atom in one of these small pebbles of sand, if every one of the atoms in one of those pebbles was the size of the pebble, then that pebble would be larger than Mount Everest. So, if you can imagine Mount Everest made out of sand, how many pieces of sand would it take to make a pile as big as Mount Everest? A lot, right? We don't even have a name for a number that big, at least not that I know. The math people outside could probably tell us. We're not going to ask them. Lots and lots of pieces. That's how many atoms are in one grain of sand. Atoms are unbelievably small.